that the wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it's going. And so it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. You see, when you are a truly free person, when you have learned the secret of living free in life, then every circumstance that comes to you is not something that's meant to destroy you, but it's more of a challenge that's meant to train you and to build you up. Becoming submitted to God and other people is good in that it helps us to learn how to be more submitted and have a submissive attitude. It's all training. But the truth is that if you have this attitude of submission, you'll find joy in every crisis and in every circumstance because you know that the Bible says that God is working together for the good, for your good, in all things that come your way, even if it's really, really difficult. Every situation should lead you to call on God for help and to call on God for support and advice. And the Bible says that when you do that, He is going to give you an amazing gift. So, if we're to be truly free, we have to begin sowing seeds of submission, planting seeds of submission into our hearts, into our lives, into our attitudes. So then the next question is okay, I get that, makes sense, but how do I do that? How do I submit? Well, it's actually a hard question to answer because there are 6.7 billion people on the planet, and every single individual on the planet would have their own experience with submission. So there really isn't any one real answer. But I would say this. I believe that developing an attitude of submission actually begins in a single solitary moment in time for each and every person. I believe that there's a moment of salvation. Yes, that is a very important moment in time, the most important moment in time. But I believe that there's another moment in time beyond that where you decide that everything that you've been doing in life, all the different things that you've been experiencing have been more difficult than they should be because you've never actually laid your life down and really submitted it, all of it, to God. For me, this moment happened here. It's Lake Hollingsworth in Lakeland. I was actually living the perfect bachelor life when I got out of the Marine Corps. It was beautiful. I was living with a couple of girls who worked at Hooters. And so I was able to go to Hooters and get free beer and free wings anytime that I wanted to. There were all the parties that went along with that kind of lifestyle. It was a great bachelor life. Except at some point, I began figuring out that it was actually a very empty, selfish way of life for me. It was doing more harm to me than it was helping me. So having gotten saved when I was 13 years old and knowing the plan of salvation, I knew in my conscience and in my spirit that things were not right. And so one night, I felt like God was calling me to come to Him. And for some reason, I felt like He wanted me to go right here. You can't see it there, but there used to be a bench right there along the tree line on the shore. And I went to that bench, and I sat on that bench, and I basically told the Lord, okay, I get it. This is all empty, and it's not doing anything for me. It's like day after day the same thing. And I need you to change me. And I told the Lord, if you change me, I will serve you. And He did. And my life has not been the same since then. It's been more wonderful than ever it was ever in my life before. Brent Williams grew up in a wonderful Christian home, went to church all of his life, been a Christian as far as he can remember. But at some point, he realized that experience that he'd been having in life wasn't good enough. So one Sunday night at this place, First Church of the Nazarene in Tampa, on a Sunday night, he actually went to the altar and literally laid himself on the altar and said, God, I'm done. I'm done. And he submitted his life to God. A submissive attitude begins with a single solitary moment in time where after you've gotten saved, you decide that it's really time to honestly submit all of it to God. Is it your day today? I wonder if the Lord is speaking to your heart. Okay, so let's say that you've had that moment in time and you believe that your life should be more submitted or you want to maintain that submitted attitude in life. Well, how do I do that, Mark? What things can I actually do to learn how to be more submitted in life? What actions can I take? I will tell you that the most that I've ever learned about submission, I've learned from being married to Kimberly for 11 years. I've learned what it means to really be submitted and to lay my ideas and thoughts down to promote somebody else in life. But everything else that I've learned about submission, I learned from the art of Aikido. Aikido is a kind of cool martial art. It teaches not to apply force against force, but to actually accept an attack as it comes, or absorb yourself in the attack, and then redirect all of the energy from the attack. Steve?
To irimi is to put your body into shikaku, which literally means dead angle, or the space we call the blind spot behind the attacker.
Check this little girl out.
Hello.
She's so sweet.